no-hitter in Los Angeles Dodger history. The first is Hideo Nomo in 1996. Josh Beckett, a no-hitter.
And again the 2-2.
Now from the windy city of Chicago, there's a beautiful look at fabled Wrigley Field. And before we get on with things here this evening, a look at the two starting lineups we'll see featured tonight. Third in home runs in the National League. Ball swung on and lifted in the air with some carry out towards left center. And he will get there to make the running play. Get their first crack, no score. There would be more than happy to see this guy at the plate. And we'll have to leave it there as this is strike three, and that will retire the side. Around. Pause, now the pitch. Swung on and hit in the air out toward left. Miller is there, makes the catch, and the side is retired. Chris Miller. Now here's the first pitch. Swing and a ball hit hard on the ground towards second. Only play will be to first as we'll see our first run score here as this is a 1-0. Now the pitch. And that's lifted in the air out toward left. He'll put it away without much trouble, and the leadoff man is retired here in the fourth. This keeps up as we take a look at the league leaders in game.
You don't have to make the perfect pitch out there.
Oh, and while we talked, that pitch got away and ended up
pitch here on the mound. This has got to be somewhere near the middle, and you just got to hope you get lucky.
And a sliding try, but it's through. A base hit. One run is scored. They will hold the other runner at third, but it's a two-run double. Chris Miller.
Give him one above the letters.
Hard hit to the left side, but taken in out there, it's short. Swung on and hit in the air to left. And the pinch hitter will not be able to advance the cause, and there are two away now.
Great starting pitching, and this has been another.
Ready with the 2-1. Now here's a ball hit hard on the ground to second. Throw in time at first for out number 2.
By a former football player, that looked like he was heading into the secondary and evaded the free safety.
And now the 1-1 delivery, and here it is, and it's swung on a high drive left center field, full going back.
There are few better places in America to spend an afternoon than this place right here, Wrigley Field. And before we close in on first pitch, a look at the starting lineups here for the finale. Chris Miller. They're not playing their best baseball right now, losers of 5 of their last 6.
When you're looking at trying to get out of a funk like this, it always helps when you can hand the ball over to a veteran starter that's been through this. Toward the stands out there in left field, he's got a few.
The pitch. Now a ball lined towards center field, and that's a base hit. Chris Miller will hold steady at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now here's a bouncing ball sent back up the middle, and it's going to find its way into center, his second hit of the afternoon. And he'll make it up safe. Chris Miller.
That fastball, 93, 94, that's plenty hard enough to blow by guys when you need to.
And that is by him on into center field, so good hitting on 0-2 nets him a leadoff single. Hutchin waiting on deck. He goes the other way as this is hit well out toward deep left field. And he will run this one down, moving to his right, and that's the first out of the 2-2. And that's lifted in the air out toward left. Miller is there, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. Now the 0-1 is lifted in the air out to left field. Miller is there to put it away, and the runner will be forced to retreat back to first. Chris Miller.
Good hitters count here, 2-0.
Oh, and he hammers it to deep right field. And that'll get down out there near the wall. Around third, Fowler heading home. And a relay to the plate. And the runner will score from first. Throw won't get him. Here comes a 2-2. Oh, hits sharply as this is pulled into right. A dive, but he can't come up with it in right as it skips right past him. And he is into second base with an RBI double.
Three-run homer for Matt Adams. 3-2 Cardinals in a magical seventh inning.
And the pitch, and Blanco bunts it, and it's a good bunt. Schode has it. He will wing it down the right field line. Here comes Crawford, and this game is over.
Sun's starting to set now over Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. And before we get too much further, here's a look at each manager's starting lineup here for the opener. Chris Miller.
Good job to hold off.
Now a swing and a softly hit ground ball. Throw gets him, 2 down. Runners lead from first and third. Here's the pitch. And that's lifted in the air out toward left. Catch made in left. Here comes the runner for the plate. And he will score on the sacrifice fly as he's in with our first tally of the ballgame. Here comes a 1-2. And he gets some pretty good wood on it here as this is lifted to fairly deep left. Miller will get there and he puts it away to retire the side. Chris Miller.
To ask yourself, was he trying to throw a fastball for a strike right there? Or was he just trying to set me up for that changeup away?
And he's got himself a base hit. So a base hit there has him aboard to start out their half of the fourth. As we take a look at the league leaderboard.
Much about that guy on first?
I think he might. Guys worry so much about the stroke.
Meanwhile here, the throw down to second is not in time, and it's a stolen base. Full count pitch on its way. Now a hard hit ball back up the middle, and that'll get through into center field for a base hit. The throw to the plate, and that'll put him on the board as it's now a 3-1 contest. He's ready now. The pitch. There goes the runner. And this ball's hit pretty well, high and deep to straightaway left. Miller is going to get there as he backs up to put it away. And there are 2 gone now. Chris Miller. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And he takes ball 4, so he's on. And as you know, that often means the steal could be in. Here it comes. Swung on and hit in the air to left. Miller is there, makes the catch, and the side is retired. The ballpark, and we are all tied at 3.
Good hitters count here, 2-0.
Swing and a shot toward right center, and he's going to make the play over toward his right, and there are 2 away now.
And a chance at redemption, too, because he hasn't done much through his first 3 plate appearances. He could make up for all.
And we'll have to leave it there as the play is made here to end the... Chris Miller.
Pitch down there when it's a straight fastball.
And he popped him up over toward the left side of the infield. Under it is Frazier now, and that's out number 2. A tie ball game again.
Yeah, this thing has had more ups and downs than my 401k. And I've got a feeling we've got some more to come.
Miller is there, and he's got that all.
A World Series win for the San Francisco Giants. For the 3rd time in the last 5 years. And their hero, Madison Bumgarner.
With everyone standing at Dodger Stadium, Kershaw pitches. Carpenter.
From one of the more hitter-friendly yards in the big leagues, a look at Great American Ballpark. And before we get on with things here this evening, a look at the 2 starting lineups we'll see featured tonight. Chris Miller. 3-0 is on the way. He pulls this one high and deep to right center field. And it's gone. Green light was on, 3-0, and he didn't miss it. Solo shot to right center. Home run number 37 on the year as the Cubs are out in front now 2-0.
And early on here, he's having real trouble locating his pitches. I mean, this is another pitch that's biting off way too much of the plate. And they've roughed him up for 2 home runs already, and we're not out of the first yet.
Chris Miller. Here comes the 1-2. Now here's a ground ball toward the hole, and it's going to sneak on through into left field for his second hit of the night. And the run will come across to score from second, and they open it up to 4-0 now.
Yeah, I think the emphasis should be on sooner.
And this is hit well towards the hole. And he tries to get to the backhand, but it gets on by. And they'll add another as this is now a 5-0. And he's going to motion for his bullpen here. That'll do it.
Two right there, just to see if he'd chase. But now with the count even, I think this one has to be in the strike zone because you don't want to run the risk of...
And we'll have to leave it there as the play is made here to end. Chris Miller will stand in again, but first we'll flash you back to the very first inning of the ball game. And here you go, a solo home run that had him off and running early on. Here it comes. Now a swing and a hard hit ball to short. Throw to first gets him, so the leadoff man's retired here to begin the sixth. Them in the 14th spot, otherwise known as second to last in the NL. And this is in the air down the left field line and into foul territory. And he'll get there in plenty of time to put this roll, as he'll just try and keep this deficit from... Now the 2-0 home. He swings at the fastball here and lifts it into the air to shallow center. And that's going to fall for a base hit.
Tigers have done it. For the fourth consecutive year, they are champions of the American League Central Division. 2-1. That is into left field. Cespedes giving chase. Not going to get there. Falls in. Kendrick on his way to third. Cespedes bobbles it. DeSarcina.
Afternoon baseball now from the home of the Reds since 2003. Great American Ballpark. And before we close in on first pitch, a look at the starting lineups here for the finale. Chris Miller will stand in, and you see they come in not exactly setting the world on fire as they've dropped 5 of their last 8 ball games.
And you know, the little things have been a recurring theme on these telecasts for years now, but when you're in a losing streak like this, no matter how minor it is, it always seems like the little things are going the other team's way. That has certainly been the case these last few games.
And apparently they're picking up right where they left off last night. You wondered if maybe they'd want to save some of those runs, but it turns out...
He's ready. Now the pitch. And now a pitch hit sharply on the ground. And he tries to get to the backhand, but it gets on by. And he will score as well, and they've pushed the lead up to 3-0 now.
They're just part of the game, but this odd...
1-2. Now a fastball here as this is slashed the other way over the third baseman's head. A fair ball. Oh, and he runs right through the stop sign. In the dirt, and oh, he can't quite dig it out. And another runs across as this is now a 4-0 ball game.
I think the phrase here is, when you're hot, you're hot. He's been on fire the last week or so, and it's going to continue here as he drives this all the way out to the wall. It'll wind up an RBI triple.
Here comes a 1-2. Swung on and hit in the air out toward left. Miller is right there as he'll put it away without much problem for the second out. Chris Miller will stand in a... from the stretch. He goes the other way as this is hit well out toward deep left field. And he will get there to make the running play. And Chris Miller from the belt kicks and deals. He takes it to the opposite field, high and deep to left. And that one's out of here. Put another nickel in the merry-go-round. This one is getting ugly. It's a 2-run shot to straightaway left. 38th home run of the season for him as they've widened this lead to 8 now.
You just can't throw that pitch right there. That swing tells a story right there. I mean, he got all of that one. Remember, he homered in yesterday's ball game too, so he's riding a pretty good...
He's been a non-factor in this one, usually a major force in their offense.
And that's lifted in the air out toward left. Miller has it, and I'd be surprised if they send the runner. And he will get in to score, and it's a run batted in on the sacrifice fly.
Chip away at this lead and hope that your pitchers can keep you in the ballgame. Good job there to get this one out deep enough to drive in the run.
Now the 1-2. Here's a shot out to the alley in right center, and they'll have a 2-out base runner. In fact, maybe good for extra bases. Around first, heading for second now.
Another look at this swing in show motion. Check out the hands getting into good position. The hips start to rotate, and then whack. That's great extension all the way through the ball. That's the perfect swing right there.
Well, a pretty good offensive show of force in this one. Probably at least a couple of players deserving. But, gentlemen, let's go ahead and give this man the nod as our top player of the game.
Safety.
0-2 coming. Swing and a fly ball toward right center into the alley. Bradley on a run. Jackie dives. Oh, he caught it. He laid out, made a sensational play. Runner tags. He'll advance into third. Jackie.
Delivery, and here it is, and it's swung on a high drive left center field. Full going back. He's to the track, and he's right to the wall. He's there. He squeezes it, and the A's have won it. 3 consecutive years.